Now to a story that seems to be picking up steam all over the world. So last night, we laid out for you the doubt that is being expressed by many all over the world regarding the accusations leveled by U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo early this morning, where he is accusing Iran of attacking tankers in the Gulf of Oman. So Pompeo is saying, we know for sure now it was Iran. In fact, he goes even further. He's now displaying this image. See that right there? He says that image purports to show Iranians or somehow agents of Iran removing an explosive that apparently did not detonate. So apparently the Iranians came back to the scene of the crime after they realized one of their bombs did not go off, so then they had to try and take it off. And that's what they say that image right there is showing, while the other two apparently did. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of people are taking issue with the fact that the holes on the ship themselves are very, very high. Now, the image is raising many questions, especially given this, and this is important. The crew on board the tanker that was attacked is saying that they are certain that they saw some kind of projectile hitting their ship and that it wasn't from underneath and it wasn't from the water, that it was from the air. In other words, by their eyewitness statement, it wasn't a mine or, some kind of magnetically attached bomb. So we've got a couple of different statements. I got three of them for you. First, let's go to former Pentagon official Michael Maloof earlier today here on RT America.
Pompeo expects us to believe this film as the most definitive evidence to date, and we should not. We should be very skeptical. And the question then arises, well, how did those limpets get on the side? A limpet is a magnetic bomb, and that's what they were. Because the explosions occurred above the water line, that means it had to be a magnetic means of holding that bomb there. And as a consequence, how could that have happened?
Yeah, how could that have happened is the question that's being asked. Now, here, this is information that crossed just moments ago. I'm going to share with you. This is the German foreign minister. His name is Heiko Maas. He's saying, though Washington officials rush to blame Iran for the attack, other countries remain skeptical. He says the video that the U.S. shows is not enough. We can understand why it's being shown, sure, but to make a final assessment, this is not enough for me. Again, this is the Germans casting doubt, apparently, on that video. By the way, he's not the only one to point out, as many are, that unfortunately, and it almost hurts to say this, our government has established a long history of making accusations like these that have turned out to just not be true. Just to name a few: Gulf of Tonkin, the Iraq smoking gun story, Syria chemical weapons attack in Douma. All of them were said to be true. Turned out they weren't. Here now, former U.S. diplomat Jim Jatras.
Right away, when something is at the very least doubtful about what happened, we have not only the government sources, but the media rushing to pin the tail on the designated culprit under circumstances that seem awfully convenient, don't they? I mean, here, how many people have been saying that the rush to war toward Iran seems to be abating somewhat? We've got Abe going to Tehran. Maybe he's got a message from Trump. Maybe there's a first step to working things out, and then, bam, something happens. It's awfully convenient, and you say to yourself, all right, is it too convenient?
So it's important to point out, by the way, that Iran was in the midst of high-level and friendly meetings with the Japanese prime minister in and around the time the tanker attacks took place. What's, I guess, most important here is that the tanker was a Japanese vessel. And Iran officials asked, what sense would it make for us to attack a Japanese vessel while we're meeting in a friendly confines with Japanese officials? Meanwhile, one other note, and this is important. The attack has sent the price of oil across the globe way, way up, and the trend has continued throughout today. I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.